Hello and welcome to GameSpot's coverage of E3 2016. We are live from the Los Angeles Convention Center here in LA, California, for the next 2 days, showing off no fewer than 6 press conferences, the first of which EA is kicking off in about 30 minutes' time. We won't be done after that. In fact, E3 then opens on Tuesday, and on this very stage, we'll be playing host to a bunch of game developers coming on, sharing their games on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so make sure you stick with us for the whole week. Obviously, in light of the horrifically tragic events that unfolded in Orlando, video games can seem like a pretty trivial thing, so before we kick off the show, I just want to say to everyone who's watching, regardless of your gender, race, sexual preference, we hope you're doing all right, and we're delighted to have you with us today. I'm also delighted to be joined by a couch full of my international friends and colleagues. Scott Butterworth representing the San Francisco office, Lucy James from the UK, Jolly out London.
London calling.
And Jess from whoever like Roadhog and...
Today, right?
You're from that Overwatch. It's like Roadhog and Junkrat are from...
That's me. That's the place that I come from, yeah.
It's great.
Sydney, Australia.
Mad Max.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anything
That's
else?
us too.
Great.
Yeah.
Loving
Neighbours.
No
That was actually
Neighbours.
Jess specifically. She was in the original Mad Max. She hasn't aged today.
Yeah.
Nice work. Your hair's
It's a
grown
small
back.
country, yeah.
No.
Yeah, works
So
well.
we
There's only
all
5 people that
contribute.
live there, yeah. And Russell Crowe already left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, him and Tugger. We've got a bunch of stuff to talk about, though, over the next 25 minutes. EA are going to, well, we do, but a lot of it's been leaked, folks.
Yeah.
Dude, this morning it's crazy. Like, everything's out there already. Well, not everything, but yeah, like substantial number of leaks, which I'm sure we'll touch on right now.
Yeah, so I guess the first things first, I guess EA were doing their dress rehearsal and
Someone hit the go switch.
Oops.
left the car. I mean, I feel like this happens, like we do a live show every single year, right? Full of like all of these, you know, professionals and talented individuals who know what the hell they're doing. So do all of these other companies. But every year, somebody manages to slip one out. Was
Just
it Dishonored
happens.
2 last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened with EA this year? Who's actually seen it?
Yeah.
Jess, you saw it. All right.
Yeah,
So what did you see?
What happened was, very unluckily, when it was hit, someone accidentally said it live, they were taking a look at Titanfall single player.
Okay.
Titanfall 2 single
Wonderful.
player. Which is really interesting because obviously one of the main criticisms of Titanfall was that, you know, they were very multiplayer focused, and they had said in the past that they wanted to stay multiplayer focused because they wanted to release on time. They didn't want the extra pressures of, like, you know, single player
Yeah, small enough
campaigns
team
to
as well.
impede on everything they were trying to accomplish with multiplayer. But I think what happened was a lot of people found, you know, the Titan pilot dynamic and the world they were building quite intriguing and felt like it could be super great for a single player campaign. And fortunately, it sounds like EA and Respawn aren't listening.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we got kind of a, you know, your classic gritty single player shooter trailer going, and it looks like they're going to explore the relationship between Titans and pilots, and also Titans seem to be quite a bit more complicated than
Right,
we
it's
thought
weird.
they were.
Titans are sentient?
Yeah.
Is that a
They
thing?
appear to be
Well,
sentient.
So
There's
the
like
problem...
an AI or something.
Yeah,
Right.
AI.
Yeah.
I
Like
think
they're
is
not fully sentient,
probably.
but yeah, like there's now interactions between those piloting the mech suits and the mech suit itself.
Yeah.
Kind of Big Daddy-esque, though. They have the relationship with
Yes.
the pilot.
Right.
That's their core programming is to care for
Yeah,
their pilot.
it feels very
Because
lore
they're
of
putting
robotics.
inside of themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit weird.
An extremely literal way, yes.
Yeah.
So it's strange because a lot of this stuff has like appeared, and then there's been screenshots and news articles, and then there's been DMCA notices which have pulled them down. So like some of it has been very readily available, and then completely unavailable. So I guess the things that were in that trailer were like, one, it looked a lot more colorful. I thought it was interesting. Two, there was one of the maps in Titanfall where there was all these flying things that were like killing you every once in a while. They were like kind of flying overhead, and people were like, "Oh, I wonder what like other animals are in this, you know, on this world." And the trailer had a bunch of like weird little creatures and stuff as well.
All sorts of things. I mean, there's so much new stuff. I mean, we were talking about it earlier, and it's bright and colorful, and they have all these environments and stuff, and like they're fleshing out characters. I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with it.
Have you guys seen the big Titan that's somewhere here? I've seen
he's
pictures.
in LA Live. We saw him getting built
Oh, right.
yesterday.
He's
but
in
he
LA
was just
Live.
legs.
LA Live beside
butt.
the Doritos ass arcade machine thing.
I
Did you
have
see
seen
that?
I haven't seen that. No, it's in the main square, just next
Okay,
to the
cool.
Nokia Theatre, I think.
Wonderful stuff.
It's absurd. It's so big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's either that or the World of Warplanes thing, which didn't show up this year. So I guess we've got Vince Zampella to thank for that. Let's wander on from that. Another thing that actually apparently appeared during that live stream was some sort of Star Wars game. Now we know that there is the Amy Hennig thing happening.
Yeah.
We know that is it the folks who made Dead Space? What are they called? Visceral Games
Yeah.
also working on as one as well. I'm guessing we're going to see something to do with either of those games, Lucy.
I'd hope so. I mean, they've obviously got some kind of deal worked out with Lucas, so they can have a bunch of Star Wars games that have to come out. If we're not seeing any more of Battlefront, I imagine we'll see something.
Right.
Because there's Motive
yeah.
working on one as well, right?
Oh yeah.
So they have a bunch of projects in the pipeline, and even if they did what they did a couple years ago, where they just sort of revealed like concept art and developers working in darkened rooms,
Like what they did with Andromeda.
yeah, pretty much saying this game is coming, we'll tell you more when we're ready. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah. We're going to see a lot of that. I mean, EA have always got so many games to talk about every year because on top of this, they have so many of their annualized franchises with all the sports stuff as well. So it'll be interesting to see what they squeeze in. But you brought it up, Mass Effect Andromeda.
Dropped it in.
All we saw before was that little sliver. Thanks to the good people at LinkedIn, we have our YouTube. Some sort of artist put up a bunch of like
He put
effects.
an animation showreel.
Yeah.
Effects, yeah.
So we've seen a little bit more. You think
Although
we're gonna see some
apparently
more?
that was a couple years old, even at
Yeah.
the time that it went up. So
Right.
it's speculated that. I mean, those mechanics they showed off like a jetpack
Yeah.
kind of traversal system for characters. So that may or may not still be in the game. It may or may not still look like that. But I'm hoping for jetpacks. I think that'd be kind of great.
Yeah.
I mean,
It feels like massive. So often we get sequels when it's a little bit too soon.
Yeah.
It's been a while since Mass Effect came
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Well, they've pushed it to March 2017 now, so that'll
Yeah.
be 5 years, won't it? 4 or 5 years?
And I think what's really cool is this will be the first Mass Effect that's not part of the Commander Shepard trilogy. Like we
Right.
actually
Yeah.
have to explore new portions of this universe, which is such a well-established and rich universe.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see where they go with the narrative and like what characters we're interacting with. I mean, we know we're in a very different part of the galaxy. I think at least 100 years after the conclusion of the previous trilogy. So many unanswered questions. I really hope EA shows more of that than we've seen in the past.
Yeah,
It's really Battlestar Galactica as well. Because there was a huge Reddit leak a while ago, and they had a very similar one for Dragon Age, and the Dragon Age one turned out to be completely legit.
Yeah.
But from the sounds of Andromeda, it's also like you're the Pathfinder finding a new home for humanity, which is very
Right.
much Battlestar, right?
Yeah.
They're running from the Cylons, they've lost, they just need to find a new home. So I'm really hoping that kind of vibe is there.
Yeah, I'd love to see Mass Effect. I mean, I love the Mass Effect games. I think they're incredible RPGs. I'd love to see it deliver a little more on planet exploration.
Yes.
And this seems like a perfect opportunity. They have these great, like, dense, like, races and lore associated with all of them and stuff like that, and there's history, and because we've had 3 games packed full of it, we're aware of a lot of it. So they've set up a wonderful universe that we can access. It'll just be really interesting to see. I mean, I'd love to do more of what we've seen in previous games, like actually explore a lot of different kinds of planets.
That like frontier aspect has always been like the most
Yeah.
exciting thing, right? It's like, God, what are you going to find on this one?
Completely new stuff with just like totally divergent populations and things like that. I mean, I'll always liken it to how Knights of the Old Republic handled it. Like, they did such a good job in that game of feeling like you were entering a whole new, like, it's a completely new experience. Every new planet felt like a new planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the end of Mass Effect
Fascinating.
3, sort of conversely, you then had a situation where, like, the Krogans, and
Yeah.
that weird, like, guy in the Citadel who talks like that.
Oh,
Yeah, those, right? Yeah.
You're working on that, haven't you?
Yeah, he was Irish. That'll be super fascinating.
I imagine there would be
Right.
some races that'll definitely kind of be series staples. We've already
Yeah.
seen that Krogan were in that early concept art, and they're kind of like the cockroaches, I guess. They're so difficult to kill. I'd imagine there'd be Krogan.
Oh, yeah.
I'm holding out. The thing is, I want some of the old races, but I want new stuff.
Yeah.
too.
Well, that's it.
Weird
We're in a
ones.
galaxy that's probably new.
sex with.
Right.
Because
It
Mass
is a
Effect.
Because it's Mass
Yeah.
Effect.
BioWare.
Yeah,
Get it?
they love it.
Yeah.
They love that
They know
video
what
game
they're doing.
sex.
Yeah.
Big fans.
All right, from wars in the future to wars in the past, the first ever war
That was a very good segue.
Thank you, Battlefield.
Yeah.
Battlefield 1. I'm guessing we're gonna. They've been doing these little like mini featurette teasers over the past week.
Yeah.
You know, bringing a grenade to a
Yep.
tank battle and all this sort of stuff. I'm guessing we're gonna see a bunch of
Yeah.
Battlefield 1, right?
I do wonder if we're going to get a multiplayer reveal. I think back like a few years ago when they did the Battlefield 4 reveal and they went, oh, and we've got all these people playing it now.
Right,
And they,
yeah,
did
yeah.
they go to the roof or
Oh, yeah.
something? Or was that Hardline? And there was just
I
all
think
these
that was
people.
Hardline.
I think it was
And they had
Hardline.
it in the
Yeah.
Californian sun, all these people just going,
Yeah.
It's burned to a crisp. I'm holding my shield
it
up to
looked
everyone in
cool.
this game. It's no fun.
Very grateful for our frosted glass surroundings right now.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
sunburns in here.
Nice and chilly today.
Yeah.
But yeah, Battlefield 1, it'll be interesting actually. I mean, anything they show is going to be interesting. If they show single player
Yeah.
stuff, that'll be great. People
It's
want
fascinating.
that, you know? And
I think just like everything they've talked about so far, it seems like they have a lot to work with to do really interesting combat mechanics and different ways of approaching it, and emphasis on melee, things like that, that just suited the time, so they're going to suit the game. What I'm really interested to see is if we see a single player campaign that can get as gritty as, of course, the Great War would be.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, this is one of the world's biggest shooting franchises, which is about having a blast.
yeah.
The Great War was much less
The
about
opposite of
having a
that.
fun time.
I mean, like even if you go back to first-person shooters, like stuff like Call of Duty,
Yeah.
the sort of the bombast we're now used to in like the modern COD games is also a step away from what they were when you go back and play COD 1 and COD 2,
Yeah.
or like Medal of Honor, for instance. These sort of like plodding experiences. So yeah, it'll be very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like DICE have really fought their corner to get this made. Like the
Yeah.
word coming out is that some of the folks at EA were not sure that the First World War was what to go back to, but
Well, I guess futuristic first-person shooters are all the vogue now, right? So it's
Yeah.
interesting to see them purposely making a stand and going back.
I mean, they have Titanfall. So, like,
Yeah.
for, as a company, it makes sense, right? Split the difference a bit.
And it seems like this is what they've been approaching for quite a long time. I mean, because Hardline was the same thing. It was they wanted to do something. It was like a it was a cops and robbers game. It wasn't a modern warfare game. So
Yeah.
they've clearly decided that they don't want to compete directly with what Call of Duty is trying to do. And what better way to do that than by going back to the series roots and going back
Yeah.
to the First World War. I guess Battlefield probably started, I think, as a World War II game. Actually,
1942 was, yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, they've gone classic instead of modern. So I mean, honestly, probably a good decision on their part. And so far, I mean, we've seen the reaction. Everyone that I've seen talking about it online seems much more excited about
Yeah.
Battlefield versus Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
For sure. I mean, it seems like whatever they show, the folks will be happy. Speaking of which, if you have any questions at all, make sure to put them in the GameSpot chat. I'm keeping an eye there. And also on twitch.tv/GameSpot. I've got both of them up here, especially afterwards, because we're going to do a sort of breakdown post-show afterwards as well, with hopefully some more details that we might know. But moving on in terms of the games, let's talk about sports. It's Electronic Arts. FIFA got itself a story mode. That's also a leak.
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah.
EA.
Right?
So this has also been pulled down. I watched the trailer. It's
I
pretty
watched
short
the
and sweet.
trailer.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that living the dream stuff from NBA 2K16.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Spike Jones attached to this too?
This
or-
is not
No.
a Spike.
Okay.
Spike Jones
Lee,
joint. Spike Lee?
Spike Jones joint. Sorry, not
I don't know which one.
Spike Lee. I'm pretty sure, not Spike
Well,
Jones.
now we're just gonna be confused.
Pretty sure. I don't know.
No.
I don't know actually.
Someone in the comments will correct us.
Let us
Fine,
know
yeah.
in the comments.
If any of the spikes are in the chat, let us know.
A Spike joint.
It looks so it's on Frostbite as well, which is great. They flash up Frostbite at the
Yeah.
time. You're like,
Yeah.
great, bro, Reno, brilliant. The destructible soccer pitch is what we always wanted.
That's what
Sorry.
I've always wanted.
Football, sorry.
Don't forget your roots
Yeah, it's true.
from Ireland.
You're an American now, buddy.
So what do we think about this? Do any of you guys play FIFA? Okay, fair enough. So what I think,
But
Sounding
Battlefield, though,
silence.
Battlefield is
Where's the cricket noise?
I mean, Fight Night Champion was like a really good sort of reimagining. I don't know, like sort of starting off point again for the Fight Night series, which had a super good story mode in it. Now that studio is now working on the UFC games, and obviously that's based around people who are like famous, and they don't tend to do that sort of stuff. But that was a really good game, which had that sort of like cliched rags to riches, sort of like boxer story, and I guess that kind of exists within the world of football as well. So the trailer that we saw has a named character playing for like Manchester United and then playing for England and like making his way through. It'll be interesting to see if they allow you to not just be that character though, because
Yeah.
FIFA has always been about, I mean, I'm sure football players in France don't want to necessarily go through. I don't want to even play for Man United
Yeah.
and watch the Premier League. I want to play for Arsenal. So it'll be interesting to see if like you know, all that stuff they had in the game where the commentators would say your name if you put it in, like O'Dwyer's in it, so they say
Yeah.
my name.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if you can also pick women's football as well for this mode, because that's obviously been a big push for them over the past couple of years. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
As a soccer or football fan, are you excited about a story mode? Is this something that you want?
So Fight Night Champion, every single time I have like interviewed the EA people, the FIFA people specifically at E3 for the past couple of years, I have said, have you ever thought about doing a story mode? Because it's the same company, right? Different studio, obviously, but you know, how did that work out? And what I heard is that Champion, maybe because of when it was released, didn't necessarily do that well. And obviously that story mode took quite a lot of time. It's the same thing we've always heard with like Titanfall, for instance, multiplayer, single player, you know, 50% don't play it, whatever. So yes, I'm very excited for that. Obviously it's all in the execution. But we'll have to wait and see. But the other thing is that whenever they do anything new in an EA sports game, is they roll it into all the other ones. So what if there's the same in Madden and the same in NHL as well?
Yeah.
It's possible.
Do it.
Are there any other EA sports games? There's no more NASCAR ones.
Wait, do they not have a basketball?
I think
No,
basketball's
2K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they had.
I thought they had. There was.
they had live, but then that was the one that
That
they
was-
literally
Yeah. that was
killed.
it.
Yeah, dead.
Where was
so.
Hoop,
Took it out behind
Hoop
the shed.
God?
Hoop God.
Yeah.
Was he EA?
I swear he was on the
Was
press
he?
conference last year.
I wonder where the
Who
Hoop
made
God
the NBA
is.
Street Games?
If you say his name 3 times into a mirror, he appears. We're about 10 minutes from the conference going live, but we still have a bunch more stuff to talk about. Let's talk.
Can we just talk about more Star Wars? Let's just talk about all the Star Wars games.
I mean, the chances are we're going to see loads of them.
I would certainly hope so. I mean, God, they're
surely.
making several of them, so.
What about the Old Republic? They had an expansion
Right.
last year, and we know BioWare are working. Well, BioWare are working on Andromeda, a secret new IP,
Right.
and they do have the Old Republic going on in the background. Are they going to do a new update?
Well, that would be. I mean, that would be 4 then, because we have Visceral, we have Motive,
Yeah.
we have Respawn,
Yeah.
which got announced last month, I think, and then I mean, yeah.
Let's not forget about Lego Star Wars: The Force
Right.
Awakens, which is this is not an EA game,
I
but
mean,
it's a Star Wars
Well,
game.
this is what's happened after Infinity. I mean, or as part of that whole
Yeah.
thing. You know, you can see the strategy now. They're out there licensing games again, and
Yeah.
Star Wars hasn't been bigger in recent memory than it is right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
is Rogue One coming out later this year as well?
Yeah.
Think
Yeah,
so,
December.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff. So I imagine if there was ever a conference over the next 6 days that we're going to see a lot of Star Wars stuff at,
Yeah.
it's going to be EA.
Yeah.
I certainly hope so.
I imagine PlayStation as well, actually,
Right.
because they always do. The Force is strong with PlayStation.
Yeah, and they've got
Oh,
that
yeah.
VR experience that they talked about at GDC. So hopefully
Yeah.
we'll see something of that. I mean, they said that
Right.
like we're making a Star Wars VR game for PSVR. You'll see it eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually is E3.
Let's talk about that actually, because another thing that we've heard over the past couple of days is that Ubisoft are going to be showing off a bunch of virtual reality stuff. We also now know that the Neo isn't going to be front and center
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Sony, which means that's probably a lot to do with their messaging about PlayStation VR and not wanting to sort of muddy the water
Yeah.
about that. So, I mean, an educated guess means that Electronic Arts are also going to like jump in and show off like, here are our, dipping our toe into the sort
Yeah.
of
I
VR
I think that's the right
pool.
phrase because
Yeah.
if we are going to see anything, it's probably going to be a very like
Something
cautious.
little.
Like,
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
worry about it. You won't.
Because so far, everything we've seen for VR has come from much smaller teams, and a lot of it's
Yeah.
been really great. But we haven't seen there's no Call of Duty VR that I'm aware of, right? I mean, there's been no real big major franchises like AAA, quote unquote AAA franchises that have come to VR. So maybe E3 we're going to start to see a little of that. I'm not aware of anything besides the Star Wars experience that PlayStation is talking about. But I mean, yeah, maybe at EA's conference we'll see a little bit from them.
You'd
So-
think EA is a good place for it, because I mean, EA has given us a lot of like sweet indie games to like get excited about.
Yeah.
They kind of, I mean, God bless Madden and FIFA because those kind of bankroll other
Oh,
projects. Like
totally.
Mirror's Edge. The first Mirror's Edge didn't really sell that well, but
Yeah.
they made another one anyway.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that EA historically has kind of done that. Like they will take
Yeah.
a risk on a game that maybe is not going to do
They've
great.
also got access to a bunch of IPs that they could probably filter that stuff
Absolutely.
into.
Yeah.
So one of the leaks that happened a little while ago was the idea that there might be some sort of virtual reality Battlefront, which would be
Right.
you're
Oh, come on, that'd be great.
I get really motion sick in VR sometimes.
Right.
right, yeah.
You just hear
Not
that
for
and you're
you.
like,
no.
Dude, I want a Mirror's Edge VR. I think that would be great, but that would kill you. You would
Yeah.
like put
The
the heads on
normal
it
Mirror's Edge
immediately.
kills me.
You know that button where
Yeah.
you can turn around 180 in like a fraction of a second? Could you imagine that in
That
virtual
might
reality?
be even a
Yeah.
little much for me, and I
Well,
generally don't
Look,
get motion
look down,
sick.
it's your ass suddenly.
Well, do you remember when someone put not Dead Island?
Dude,
Dead Rising?
No. The one that Techland did after.
Dead Space?
Oh, Dying Light.
Dying Light.
Yeah.
Put someone for Dying Light in VR, and that was
Awful.
because it's when the camera takes control away from you when you vault
Right.
over something.
Right.
That's when people made
Oh,
sick.
wow,
But
yeah.
to be honest, like stuff with Vive now, like Vive, I'm fine with. So it seems like the motion sickness problem is going away. So if Battlefront were to come to VR, and hopefully they've taken the time to smooth it all out.
Yeah.
That'd
Man,
be fine.
being in those environments though.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just being
that'd
able
be
to walk
cool.
around.
Yeah, I want like a Star Wars, like a cockpit
so
VR game.
cool.
Those cockpits
Yeah.
seem to work really well with VR. You're seated, and you've got
yeah.
like the control panels. You can like look every direction. I mean, it works for Valkyrie and things like
X-Wing
that.
versus TIE Fighter.
Right?
I mean, that would
That would be
work
fantastic.
perfectly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Make it happen, EA.
100%. I wonder if the other thing they do with the sports games is like even stuff like Kinect, like the voice commands, all that stuff always gets like a little bit of a piecemeal tip of the hat in those sports
Yeah.
games.
Does seem
so
to.
like imagine maybe if you could play FIFA and sit in the crowd.
Imagine if you could
That'd be
be
cool.
the
Right.
ball. You could literally be the soccer
no,
ball.
why you always got to take it in like the worst VR way possible. Imagine
Well,
being
you
the
know,
referee.
It's all about experience right now. We got to try different things and see what works.
Yeah,
and,
there's
maybe
no wrong answers in brainstorming. That's their approach they'll take.
unless you tell somebody to make a soccer game in which you are the ball.
The
That's
ball,
probably
yeah.
a bad idea.
Yeah.
They should hack it for PC. I mean, I'd play that. Like, if you're sitting in the crowd, because the thing about the TV camera is that it's like sort of like moving with you a little bit.
Yeah.
So you get that
That'd be quite
perspective.
nice if you like-
In the hockey, you can just bang on the walls when they're all fighting each other.
Go Sharks.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, that's on today, right? Yeah, a lot of sports on at the moment. I'm missing the end of the Canadian Grand Prix right here. Okay, so we've talked a lot about a lot of the stuff we kind of thought we were going to see, stuff that is
Yeah.
leaked, stuff that very, very, very likely.
Yeah.
New IP. I mean, EA have already said in earnings call that they're going to be saying there's going to be something between now and next year. So, I mean, it seems like a stupid question to ask people what the new IP will be. But what do you guys think the new IP will be?
I'm hoping for a reveal like Unravel last year.
Yeah, let's unravel it. That's
Yeah.
That's like
turning it into a verb.
It's too small.
No,
That's too
but I
small.
really
It's
think
not.
might be on the
It's
right track, though.
beautiful.
I
and
think they did
It's
say.
different.
Every
and
year
it's
they seem to
great
have
for
one of those types of games.
I think
like
it's
the
great
cute,
for EA.
Beautiful,
It's
yeah.
perfect because they have their other realms covered. We're getting these massive, amazing shooters. We're gonna get Mass Effect. We've got.
Yeah, the
they have
sports
sports
games.
down.
Yeah.
So yeah, what are they missing now? So we have first-person shooter.
What
They got
they're
two big
missing
games.
is the surprises, which is
Yeah.
like the indie games like Unravel that we get, where it's just completely out of left field and grabs everyone, and it's like, oh wow, that is an incredible thing
Yeah.
that no one saw coming. Which honestly, I think is the best part of E3.
Yeah,
is these
Yarny
press
was the
conferences.
unexpected hero of E3 2015, right?
that
And-
game wasn't that great.
Okay,
Listen,
but
It was okay.
but it was different. And it
Danny,
was
you're not
EA
wrong, but
It was EA getting behind something that was, really trying to do something. Like,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
narrative focused and completely, I mean, yes, I agree that game had problems, but I don't think I've seen anything quite like it. And I really enjoy publishers who are willing to back devs who want to do games like that.
I mean,
Everyone
you're not
loves a
wrong.
trier.
Like, what you say?
Everyone loves a trier.
Yeah, that's
okay?
true.
Try.
Even with like the small sort of stuff. I mean, I guess it's you're right. They do have a lot of the bases covered. They got the I mean, it looks like their Star Wars games probably going to be big bombastic third-person games. They have the first-person base covered. They have the sort of the sports stuff locked down.
They've got RPGs.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the next Dragon Age will be maybe next year.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
But they
It's
still have
inevitable.
ways
There
will be another, but the other thing it might be, because remember that like Simpsons Untapped is an EA game,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So
Makes
it's
them a
possible
lot of
that
money.
the new IP
Yeah.
will be something more social, maybe even something mobile. I mean, I'm sort of loath to be like, the new IP is going to be mobile.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
But
a
EA
PopCap,
does that.
a PopCap just got
They
into
Plants vs.
fair.
Zombies 2. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Garden Warfare 2. Plants vs. Yeah.
But also,
quite good.
The Sims, a thing has been popping up
That's
today.
what I was thinking of. Yes.
I think they're calling it Sims Worlds.
Right.
That could be the
Okay.
new the new game from Maxis.
yeah, that
which
could kind of be considered a new IP because it's Sims, but it's a very new take on this.
Well, it wouldn't be a
If
new IP if it
it's-
was Sims.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
guess
it's a
not.
new-
Fair enough.
But we'll see. I mean, they, Maxis obviously tragically shut down last year, but a
Yeah.
lot of that stuff had been brought. I mean, they have that Sims team, which is based, I think, down in Redwood.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they seem to
Redwood.
bring a lot of
Yeah,
people
yeah.
in house,
Yeah.
from what I remember.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the Sims 4 doesn't seem to be getting the support like the Sims 1, 2, and 3 did. Like it didn't
Yeah.
seem to
Yeah.
be getting the expansion packs. It doesn't seem to be getting.
It is. It's getting expansions.
But
it's
really,
just, it's
like-
not, the base game is the problem.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like there are expansions which are bringing back elements that gamers wanted
Yeah.
to see, but the problem is they took them out. And now
then-
they're bringing them back.
It's not like, when you played The Sims 2 and you would get like Pets University.
Yeah.
Not like big, huge expansions. This is filling in the stuff that they
Pretty
gouged out.
piecemeal.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's the problem when you keep adding to a game and then people expect it all the next year.
Yeah.
I'm guessing we won't see any SimCity stuff. It seems like City Skylines.
Well, City Skylines is
around with it.
Yeah, I'd say that's
Yeah.
about right. Aren't EA doing Haze Light?
Yes, you're right. That new
I
game. Yeah.
am dying to see more of
That
that
is-
game. I'm not sure if it's too soon because, of course, we got like 2 minutes of it, of
Right.
a guy in a train. But that game is made by a bunch of the team who made Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons,
Yes.
which
Oh.
is one of my favorite games ever.
Yeah.
So that was
So-
all we saw last year. It was like a video of a dude in
Yeah.
the back of a train, like
Yeah, it was like a
It's a very
little
nice
dev
train.
diary. It was a dev diary, and then it was like a couple of guys silhouetted in a train
Yeah.
with a big moon. And so no idea what that game is going to be, but I trust the team behind it. So
Yeah. Brothers was great. Very redundant title, but a great game.
Yeah.
Do we think that Criterion's going to make an appearance?
Right.
That's a good question.
'Cause they-
God, I would love another Burnout. Just bring back Burnout.
They're working on an action sports. Like what's the word I'm looking for? Not action, extreme sports.
Extreme sports,
Yeah,
yeah.
action sports.
Action sports.
But again, that was like a concept arty. Here's the devs in the studio behind
Right.
the scenes video a couple of years
Right.
ago.
God, wouldn't another skate game be great? Does
Oh
everybody like
my
skate?
goodness.
Yeah, Danny.
So do you know about
Skate
this
4.
campaign?
Oh God, I want
No?
it.
Do you, so there's this brilliant thing that's been happening on EA's Instagram for like the past 6 months, where no matter what they post, people flood it with like, "But where's Skate 4?" Like everything
great.
consistently.
I'm happy
Yeah.
that desire is there, but that's kind of annoying to just because I know that game. Like I will post stuff on our site, and the comments will be like,
Yeah.
"What about this other unrelated thing?" And I'm like, "I just spent all day writing this. Please care about the thing I posted."
So-
so I feel that community manager's pain, but yeah, I also want Skate 4. So
And so apparently, I think it was maybe last week, EA came out and said, "We're like, we're happy with all the love and support for our Skate game,
Yeah.
but nothing's in development
But
right now." I guess EA Black Box made that. I'm not sure what.
I don't think they exist anymore.
I
Yeah,
think
you're
they
right.
got
Yeah, yeah.
down.
So, I mean, those games are really popular. There became a time, like I interviewed Tony Hawk downstairs last year,
Yeah.
where there just wasn't enough people buying those games for both those games to exist,
Yeah.
and they almost sort of like cannibalized each other. So, I mean, Tony Hawk's not going anywhere. Well, Tony Hawk's not coming back anytime soon.
I
they
would
kind of shot themselves in the foot,
Yeah.
though. I mean, like they
That was
had a chance. They had the right idea with the most recent Tony Hawk, like going back to arcade roots and
Yeah.
just kind of dropped the ball a
It
little.
would be
a
interesting to
lot.
see if EA were like holding off to see what the reception to Tony Hawk
Right.
would be like before deciding.
And
I
that
hope
could
not,
cut, that
because-
could cut
Yeah.
either, yeah, I mean, you could cut
Ruin it
that
for
either
everyone.
way. You could either say that was a complete disaster, but I mean, you're right. Like the game on paper was good. It was just a terrible execution.
Yeah.
So we're running over the hour, but EA still haven't started yet. Presumably they're having to change their press conference because they've leaked everything.
I hope they own it though. I hope they just make a joke about it. I think everyone will be
They'll
a
have
little,
to, yeah.
like you can't just pretend like it didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
You can't be
Yeah.
mad
That's
about
the
it. This
E3 way.
Yeah, the best way to do is be like, haha, right guys? Okay, anyways, moving along. So,
Yeah.
hopefully they'll handle it gracefully, but I guess we'll see.
I
Yeah.
can't imagine Peter Moore would just completely ignore it. I like Peter would.
It's not his first rodeo.
What's the over/under on a new Peter Moore tattoo this year? What do you think it's going to be?
Yeah.
Ooh. It's been long enough since what was the last one?
Halo 2, wasn't
Okay.
it?
Yeah, well,
Or
I think you got the
deliver.
GTA 4 one after that, right?
Oh,
That was,
yeah.
that was
it must
before.
have been a. Really?
Oh yeah.
I
wasn't
might
it?
have my
Oh no,
timing
Halo
off.
2
When did
GTA
games
4.
come out?
God.
GTA 4
Either
came
way,
out after. I don't know.
I mean, either way, you're talking like 8
Again,
years
the
ago.
comments will let us know how wrong we are.
Thanks everyone for doing our jobs for us.
Were there any questions? I don't know if anybody was asking.
Oh, I'm
anything.
keeping an eye on it.
All
Okay,
right.
I got it.
He's got a good draw.
What do we got for EA Bingo? What's going to come up? What should we have on our bingo sheets?
It's gonna be people who don't know what to do with their hands.
Okay, no, hang on.
Yes.
Supercar on stage.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're going to have some kind of sports star who
Yep.
none of us know who they are.
Or Pele.
Or Pele.
And or Pele.
I forgot about Pele for 30
How?
minutes last year.
About Pele,
Yeah.
Danny.
This is only an hour long, though, I think.
It's gonna be half an
That's
hour
what
Pele.
it felt like.
Half an hour of
Pele.
sports.
And it still won't be
Probably.
enough.
What else are they going to have? Andrew
The-
Wilson will be dressed impeccably.
Yes.
There
you
will be
look great.
lightsabers.
Yes.
Someone will have a lightsaber at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Star Wars will be pursued.
Star Wars musical Blair
Oh, we
at one
will see
point.
it. Yes.
Yeah, how many Star Wars games? Let's do it right now. How many do you think? I'm going to go with...
I'm gonna
I'll go last.
I'm gonna go 2. I'm gonna say
Okay.
they're gonna be 2 separate Star Wars. games.
Conservative bet.
3.
3.
I want to go 3 too.
Wait, does 3 include like DLC or anything?
Yeah, I'm not
No,
including
no, no,
in case.
no,
Wait, are they
Battlefront
talking
DLC.
full
New.
games?
because I'm sure they're gonna talk about Battlefront.
New games
DLC.
then too.
Yeah.
New games
Okay.
then too.
Yeah. I think 2 is a safe bet.
3.
Ah.
I'm
Me
going
and you,
for
Jess,
3.
we're in it together.
Yeah. No. It's
I would high
good.
five you,
No,
but we're
we're
live.
You all
and
went
we'll
two.
admit
We're all
something
we're all in
stupid,
Yeah.
on 2 now.
I was going to
Oh,
go
really?
4 if you went 3, but I'm happy sitting on 3 if that's
You
the
gonna
case.
one up? I'll go through
No,
them.
no, I'm good. A couple of questions in here about maybe some sort of new Command & Conquer. It's been a little while.
Yeah, I
since-
mean, are they? I feel like EA is very much in the console business, though. Like they don't seem to be making many PC games these days, and I can't imagine a console-based Command & Conquer.
They had that free-to-play one a couple of years back.
Which one was that?
Which
Wait,
was
I thought
it
it
was a
didn't-
Red Alert free-to-play thing, wasn't it?
Is that the one that they made and then they canned it?
Oh, they might have canned
They
it.
canned it. I remember playing it
Really?
behind closed doors at Gamescom once, and then they were just like, "Oh yeah, no."
Yubi had Tom Clancy's End War, right? That was the thing. That was
They
a
had
console
Ruse as
RTS.
well,
Oh, Ruse!
which
I
was
forgot
a
about
console
Ruse.
RTS,
Yeah, but EA, it's been quite a long time since we've seen an RTS out of them. I don't know. That would be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Munvian saying John Boyega on stage.
Please.
Oh yes, I would
Please.
love.
What celebrity appearance?
Why
I mean,
not?
if they're doing
Oh, I
that
would
many, Star Wars games, you think they might?
Well, he was because he was like, there needs to be, like he expressed disappointment at Battlefront, right?
Really?
Yeah, yeah. he's-
Off the
he wa-
company line, John.
No, he was like, why is there no single player?
Yeah, I think he wanted
Alright.
story. I think he
Yeah.
was, he was looking to maybe bring a little voice acting. I don't
Yeah, he
know,
was looking
right?
for a
Yeah.
job.
Right.
Like,
Wounds will be healed. Everything's gonna be
Yeah.
fine.
Clever boy. Can we get FIFA Star Wars with Pele as Lando? Says
We
Raging Frank.
literally joked about that before
yeah,
we
we
went
did
live.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
So-
did.
Exactly that.
There will be an outtake years from now of our
Yeah.
conversation on the couch
the
about
whole
Star
chat,
Wars FIFA.
The whole chat is saying Skate 4.
Good job, chat.
yeah, that's good
Yeah.
to see.
Oh, the skate games are
What about Dead Space?
won't
well,
happen.
if Visceral are working on
Yeah.
a Star Wars game,
busy.
They're busy. Lisa.
Also, Dead Space 3 was not great.
No, it was not great.
Dead Space 2 was fantastic,
they
though. I
tried.
love Dead Space 2. And even Dead Space 1 has its merits.
your threes, Dead Space 1 was a classic. I won't have anything else
Yeah.
said about that. But your 3 games are always a little bit like,
That's
even like
very
Uncharted
true.
3 was a little like, 2 was great and the 3 was,
Yeah, Mass
They brought
Effect.
it back
Mass
around.
Effect is the same, right?
Mass Effect,
thing,
yeah, 3 was kind of-
pretty
a little bit of room to
little.
breathe. I mean, Dead Space, it feels like we haven't had a
Dead Space Origins.
Like we're oh no, I hate
Didn't they
that
do
shit.
like a Wii game that was a prequel? Is that a thing, or am I making that up? I feel like there was a Dead
Does
Space
sound
Wii game that
familiar.
wasn't just a port. It was like its own. It was like
It
an
was a
on-rail
He's
shooter
Googling.
May have
that was a
been.
prequel. I swear this is a real thing.
Dead Space Extraction.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2009.
I'm not crazy.
So I mean,
Well, I mean,
So-
unrelated. But
So the other thing is that like this is like a lot of these franchises haven't been on the new consoles yet.
Yeah.
So even
Yeah.
though like a couple of
Yeah.
years have
Point.
passed, you like maybe you've got that added element coming in.
what if we see like a Dead Space collection or something?
Yeah, I was gonna
like-
say.
No,
so
no,
you're
no,
asking
no,
about
no,
all
EA
the
won't-
remasters.
EA won't do remasters, right?
Don't do that.
Well,
They-
even
they
if they
peanut
do, it
bullets
won't be
come
on
out.
stage today.
I
Like they're not
hope
going to be
not.
touting a remaster at the press conference. I would have to imagine, right? That's not a very sexy thing to
Yeah.
spend their 1 hour of press conference time
Yeah.
on.
Be
So-
modest.
So that's the
Unless
other
it's
thing as
backwards
well.
compatible.
Is that, but if that was the case, then they might keep that for the hardware for
Yeah, that would be like
Microsoft
their
or
Sony
Sony.
Microsoft press conference thing.
Because
yeah.
that's the other thing is that EA won't be done after today. This will be like their sort of
Yep.
top shelf
Yeah.
stuff, but
Totally.
then they're going to keep a lot of this stuff for tomorrow's press conferences.
I was gonna say, remember last year, wasn't it like the weird thing that they brought to Microsoft's press conferences was Plants vs Zombies?
Oh
Like
yeah,
that was the big thing that they had.
yeah. Was there an exclusivity thing happening there?
Well,
guess it was on
the
PC.
It came
original
to Xbox
was
first, or they got first DLC or something like that.
the original
Yeah.
Xbox had timed. The original game had timed exclusivity on Xbox One,
Right, yeah.
and then it came to PS4 later.
And it was on PC as well.
Yes.
So the other thing they might trot on a little bit about, because they certainly won't be doing it much at the consoles, is EA Access, which
Yeah.
has. I mean, I was
Yeah.
even surprised by just how many games were on that service ahead of time. I mean, last year was lots of sports games, but
Yeah.
like even Mirror's Edge,
Dragon Age.
Dragon
Yeah.
Age, right?
Yeah, they've been improving it.
Well,
Oh yeah.
the Battlefield 1 trailer has the Xbox logo, so I assume there's going to be some kind
Right.
of exclusivity there. It seems like if Microsoft haven't got COD anymore and they don't have Battlefront, they might be grasping for other
Right.
Well, and
FPS.
there's been such an outpouring of goodwill towards Battlefield. It seems like that would actually politically just be a good maneuver for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, on a lot of these games, they might show campaign here and then multiplayer
Yeah.
at the, Microsoft
Yeah, I
or
think
Sony
we've actually
thing.
seen that in years past with
Yeah.
Call of Duty, especially. There'll be like the teaser for like here's what the game is, and then you get to the Microsoft press conference, and then here's multiplayer, and, or
Yeah.
here's zombies or whatever. So yeah, it's entirely possible that's what will happen today as well, or over the next 2 days among all these various gauntlet of press conferences.
Yeah, I mean, and by the time Tuesday's finished, we're actually going to know most of the stuff that's
Yeah.
going to be shown.
Yeah, the show will be over before it begins this year.
Yeah. It's a bit nuts.
So what is this, day -2?
Day minus
Yeah.
1 at least, and then tomorrow's like day
madness.
0.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see like how much time they allow for because we've talked about so many games, right?
Yeah.
There's like maybe multiple Star Wars games.
So much.
Battlefield 1, Titanfall. We talked about. Well, we'll probably get. They have to, get people out there. So like we might see Amy Hennig out there talking a little while.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jade
Hopefully.
Raymond might be out there as well.
Yeah.
The Hazelight game, maybe if they show that. They also have to dip, into the sports stuff. Then there's going to be DLC for all of the stuff that's already come out. What do you think we're going to see in that respect?
In DLC,
Yeah.
Battlefront for sure.
Oh, they
Battlefront.
gotta show it. Yeah.
Because they already have a game roadmap laid out, so we kind of know what's coming. But I'm sure
Yeah.
that they'll show it and be like,
Yeah.
"Here's this," and then
Yeah,
we're
we
also going
haven't
to
really
the
had a
next one
proper
that's later
look.
this year. And
Just details.
yeah, so I'm sure like that's kind of a given.
Yeah.
What else?
Everyone's shouting for Pele and for the thing to start.
Pele riding a
Bad.
skateboard, introducing Skate 4. Boom.
Jency Havoc asking for an EA rugby game.
Eh.
There was rugby games come out every year. They're
Yeah.
always just made
There's
by
a
these
lacrosse game. Mike Mahardy reviewed
Yeah.
a lacrosse game.
KC Powell lacrosse.
Yep,
Oh.
it's a
There was
thing.
a-
What's it covered?
I think he gave it a 4.
I mean,
Yeah.
what might be interesting to see is that, like, obviously Gamescom is really putting itself more on the map more in terms
Yeah.
of big game releases and stuff.
Yeah.
So it could be that they have a very dedicated number of games, just a handful for E3,
Right.
and then they save more. Like, especially I think the ones that are coming later, maybe Mass Effect, for example, would have more of a presence at Gamescom.
I was so surprised last year about how much stuff was really shown there. Like Scalebound, we got that big
Yeah.
gameplay reveal.
Yeah.
Like even now it sounds like Sony are sort of
Coming back.
yeah, well
Because
yeah.
they realized
they're not
Paris Games
showing-
Week maybe wasn't
yeah,
the best.
exactly.
They're not showing Neo or PS4.5, whatever,
Right.
at E3. Where are they going to... I mean, it's
Yeah.
got to be Gamescom or
Yeah.
maybe
Or
TGS.
TGS,
or-
but then TGS has fallen by the wayside as well.
I would be surprised if Microsoft showed anything at TGS, but Gamescom, they definitely had such a big presence there last year.
Yeah.
But because Sony wasn't there.
And I mean,
Didn't
this year
hurt.
there's a decent amount of space between that and PAX Prime or PAX West, as it's called now,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, they
Uh,
rebranded.
Yeah, so
God, there's so many events all year long. Those we got, Comic-Con and PAX and Gamescom, and I think TGS is actually right before Comic-Con in the middle of the
Yeah.
summer, right? It's I might have my dates
September.
wrong, but there's just so many big. So who knows, man? Who knows? It used
Yeah.
to be like everything was E3, and now it seems like a lot of the big announcements are spread more evenly throughout the year.
I
So
mean, even
Yeah.
like during the amount of press conferences we had last week showing
Yeah,
off stuff like
last
yeah.
week.
Deus Ex.
So announcing everything.
We had the
Destiny
Watchdog stuff.
landed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Destiny had theirs.
Dishonored. Speaking of things that leaked,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh, we
No,
got plenty of leaks to talk about over the next
the
couple of days.
weekend.
yeah. But we're
Uh,
sticking to EA. Have they still not started?
here's a good one. Dead Space VR says Dan James 2015.
Potentially. I mean, I know that
I bet.
Sony's
That's
doing.
really
I've actually
cool.
seen their. Oh God, what was the game from last year? The Choose Your Own Adventure horror.
Yes, this is the
Until Dawn.
Yeah.
They have.
Oh, yeah.
There's an Until Dawn VR game, so
Oh,
Yeah.
Rush of Blood, yeah.
Yeah.
On-rails
It's an
shooter?
on-rails thing, so I would kind of like to do a more exploration-based VR jump scare game.
It's an
but
on-rails shooter, isn't it?
Kind of,
Yeah.
sorta. Yeah.
Yeah.
You shoot
Kinda,
stuff.
sorta.
I mean, yeah, it's not like you're playing, Area 51 or like Time Crisis in
Yeah.
an arcade
Yeah.
or something. But yeah, you're like in a mine cart and you have a gun and things
Sure.
jump out at you. So it would be really cool if we got like an Until Dawn or a Dead
Dead
Space like
They're,
exploration.
they're pretty
war
good
game.
at that whole eye removal thing as well.
Oh God,
that,
no.
that could work good on VR.
Yeah, I
a
think
little bit.
Mary Kish did a really great like goriest moments in games compilation
Yeah.
recently, and that was certainly in there
It was
because
yeah.
it's horrifying.
Here's a good
I
one.
really like my eyeballs. I don't like the idea of them being gouged out by a space needle.
Pats
Yeah.
Fan 365 Pele VR.
LAV.
Yeah.
All right,
Pele.
let's Pele VR. It's coming up. We
Here we
just got ears on it. EA is just starting off, so make sure you stick around after this, where we'll be doing our post-show impressions. But until then, enjoy the Electronic Artist.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to EA Play, coming to you live from the Novo in Los Angeles. It's always cool to be part of something new. This is a brand new event, a brand new venue, and we're kicking things off with a new type of show. Now, we all know you have an insatiable appetite to dive deep into the games you love, but we could never give you everything you want in 60 minutes. And let's be honest, even if we could, you'd also probably rather see and hear it from the community anyway. We get it. So consider this next hour to be a taste, a quick glimpse into a bunch of great stuff that we have in development. This is us opening up the door, welcoming in our players, influencers, media, and partners. We're inviting you in to play. We're surrounded here by hundreds of game stations. Thousands of you will get hands-on with our games this week. Unfortunately, more of you won't. But the content creators here are the ones who can tell you what they see, what they feel, what they like, and even what they don't. And that's fine too. We want your feedback. We want to know what you think. Just as long as you take some time to play. Of course, EA Play is a global experience. So here's a twist. Someone had this crazy idea of hosting EA Play in not one, but 2 locations. And then, I'm pretty sure it was that same person had an even crazier idea of seeing if we could join them live via satellite. So let's welcome Peter Moore and hundreds of our friends from London.
We're good. Hi, Andrew. As you can hear, we've got a great crowd here in London. We're at the
Over the next hour, we will take a look into the future of EA Star Wars games. BioWare will take us further into the next intense chapter of the Mass Effect universe. From EA Sports, we have both competition and story. And of course, Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2 are both here today. Right away after this show, we will actually host the first ever live-streamed 64-player Battlefield 1 match. Now, here's a question for you. Did any of you see the Battlefield trailer last month? I know you did, and I know a bunch of you were thinking, is this real? Are there actually going to be airships and horses and trench knives and shovels? So 2 things. 1, yes. And 2, you can see it for yourselves. Not in another trailer, but with an hour of gameplay live streamed around the world, just an hour from now. A few thoughts before we get into the action. Just a decade ago, there were about 200 million game players in the world. We thought that was a lot. Now there are 2.6 billion and growing. We are all part of a global phenomenon. At its core is play, something that is increasingly important to our lives today. For many of us, games are vital. That's what drives us to make games and continue building, creating, innovating, and exploring. We know just how important it is. We see it as our responsibility to help people on all corners of the globe experience play. Because we all play to live. This will be a fantastic 3 days, so let's get started. First up is a great friend and the mastermind behind one of the industry's most compelling franchises, Vince Zampella.
Thank you, Andrew. Well, everyone, it's great to be back near E3. Titanfall introduced millions of players around the world to the fast, fluid Pilot and Titan gameplay that is at the heart of Titanfall. And with the release of Titanfall 2, we're excited to welcome PS4 players to the franchise for the first time. We'll start off with a look at what players can expect out of Titanfall multiplayer.
Let's do this.
Stick together.
Go, go, go.
I love it. So, Titanfall 2 builds on the signature Pilot and Titan gameplay to deliver a more robust experience, backed by the depth and variety our fans have been asking for. This includes 6 new Titans, each with their own unique combat abilities, expanded Pilot gameplay, more customization options, and a deep progression system. And of course, super smooth gameplay that we've always delivered. Prior to launch, we'll be holding a multiplayer technical test designed to help us stress key features of the game. To play the multiplayer test, go to Titanfall.com and sign up to get all the details. Now, for the 4 people that didn't see the leak this morning, and if you know this, sing along with me. I'm excited to confirm single player. So we'll be adding a full offline playable campaign to Titanfall 2. It'll be crafted to dive deeper into the Titanfall universe, exploring the unique bond between Pilot and Titan, taking full advantage of the movement and combat to deliver a feeling of being unstoppable together. And now here is the debut of the single-player trailer for Titanfall 2, coming October 28th to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Thank you, everyone.
BT-7274. Your data recorder says your original pilot was killed in action.
Correct. My original pilot was KIA. I am now linked to Rifleman Jack Cooper.
Who authorized this?
We had no other options.
What are your protocols?
Protocol 1. Link to pilot. Protocol 2. Uphold the mission. Protocol 3.
BT!
Protect the pilot.
Stand by for Titanfall.
Trust me.
Welcome to Denver. I'm Brandon Gordon alongside Charles Davis as the 2016 NFL season is underway.
This the game that chose us. Pioneer started on my corner like the cold rush. Had lining up the block like a gold rush. Saying live fast and die young is what they told us.
Here we go. Just 3 seconds left. The Broncos fighting for their playoff lives. The snap, hold, it's blocked. T.J. Ward blocked it. And in the most improbable of ways, Denver is going to the playoffs.
That is Madden NFL 17 for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and as always, the game looks incredible. This year, Madden lets you take your team all the way with the most balanced gameplay to date, new ways to play in franchise mode, and an all-new commentary team. It personifies everything we love about sports: passion, intensity, and of course, competition. Competition in the world of gaming is esports, and it's absolutely electric. Elite players, a global stage, and of course, big paydays. From the first Madden Challenge 14 years ago to today's competitive battlefield scene, and of course, the FIFA Interactive World Cup, EA is no stranger to the power of elite competition. But the spectacle of esports barely scratches the surface of competition. It's a select few that become pro gamers. That is why EA is embracing a new approach to competitive gaming. We want to make stars of all of our players. With new competitive modes and weekly online contests in our biggest franchises, we're making competition fun and meaningful for everyone, regardless of their ability. As such, I'm excited to announce 3 awesome new ways to compete: Challenger events, Premier events, and EA Major events. With our Challenger series of events, we'll be giving the community an ability to be more easily hosting and running their own tournaments. Next up is the Premier Series. These are large-scale live events that we'll host with partners from inside and outside of the gaming world. And finally, there are EA Major events. These are marquee live events run by EA on a global stage. The best players competing for the biggest prizes. And it all starts this weekend at EA Play in Los Angeles with our first EA Major event, the Madden NFL 16 Championship. In a moment, we'll welcome ESPN's Stan Verrett to the stage in LA, who will introduce you to the 8 finalists. But first, let's meet 2 of the fiercest Madden competition out there, Eric Problem Right and Zach Serious Mo Lane.
The greatest of all time is the guy to beat.
This guy just wins.
Being the best in the world often inspires awe, reverence, respect. But when you're the best in the world at a video game, everyone thinks they can take you down.
Every day on Twitter, there's people coming in saying that they can beat me. Usually, I just respond in the nature of something like, Floyd Mayweather doesn't fight, Joe Schmo off the streets. I am the greatest of all time when it comes to Madden football.
I'm here to win, and whoever's in the way is just, another person that's going to have to get laid out.
I'd like to believe that I'm the best Madden player in the world.
Give it up for Serious Mo!
If anybody can be the heir to problems thrown, a lot of people feel it's going to be Serious Mo.
I kind of dedicated my life to this. When I was 16, I was at the top of my class, but I would go to school with no sleep from being up all night playing Madden.
Being a full-time video game player is hard for a lot of people to understand. It is tough. It is tough to do, and I'll play as many hours as I can just to really get ahead of the competition.
Both Problem and Serious Mo have a claim to the top of the Madden world, and the issue may be settled at the Madden Championship. It's a tournament that started with 1 million players in online qualifiers and ends this week, live in Los Angeles, with $50,000 at stake. These would-be rivals are actually close friends, but don't expect them to take it easy on each other if they meet with a title on the line.
Well, there's no question I'm going to win the Madden Challenge this time around.
I wish him the best of luck, but I got to beat him.
It started with 1 million players competing online, and now only these 8 remain. The best Madden NFL players in the world. All world-class competitors. They're at the top of their game, but only one is going to be the winner. Let's meet one of the guys here who appears to be a little injured. This is Serious Mo. You saw in the piece. What happened?
I was racing a friend, didn't have my shoes tied, fell down, broke my collarbone.
Didn't have your shoes tied? Are they tied now?
No.
No, they're not tied. All right, we don't want you to fall off the stage. All right, best of luck to you. Best of luck to all of you guys. Now, it's going to be an awesome competition. If you can't be here at EA Play to see it in person, you can tune in. You can watch on Twitch, YouTube, or tune into ESPN3 to watch all the action live, or join us at ESPN2, 6 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday for the finals. Now, let's send it back to Peter in London.
Thank you, Stan. looking forward to some great action this week. But let's also take a moment to talk about the year ahead. I'm excited to announce the Madden NFL 17 Championship Series. Next year, everything gets bigger and better. How much better? We're putting up $1 million in total prize money. Now, it takes full-time dedication to be the best, and we want to reward our elite players for their skill and commitment. The Madden 17 Championship Series is a full year of high-stakes action that spans 4 EA majors and more events to be announced soon. But it's not just Madden. At EA, competition is at the heart of everything we'll do. And we'll have more news about more events and more games to share soon. So stay tuned. And here's to a great year of competition ahead. But now, let's go back to Los Angeles. Here's the general manager of BioWare, my good friend, Aaron Flynn.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. At the heart of Mass Effect Andromeda is a question. How far will we go? In the game, you are part of an ambitious expedition, leaving the Milky Way galaxy to help humanity find a new home. You travel millions of light years to the Andromeda galaxy. You wake up. Now what? Everything is new. New planets, new species, new technologies. You must be among the most courageous, the most daring to go on this journey. Because this is a galaxy where you are the alien. How far will we go? That question is also at the heart of the development of Mass Effect Andromeda. The Mass Effect trilogy is a huge part of our history and the lives of many of our fans. It was an amazing story, but this is a whole new adventure. We're building on the things you love about Mass Effect, amazing stories and gameplay, and now we're letting our imaginations run wild. This is a bigger adventure filled with a whole new cast of memorable characters and more freedom than we've ever given players in a BioWare game. And for the first time, it's all powered by Frostbite, which means you're going to see, hear, and feel Mass Effect like never before. That's our promise to you. So how far will we go? Well, we can't wait to share more with you this fall. Here's a look behind the scenes at Mass Effect Andromeda. Thank you.
Our survival as a species has always depended on our drive to seek out the undiscovered, push beyond our limits, and expand the boundaries of our known world. With Mass Effect, we are going further than ever before. To Andromeda, to build a new home for humanity. Imagine distant star systems with remote and hostile planets, teeming with alien life and civilizations. Worlds where adventure, danger, and the unknown are waiting to be discovered. We've created a universe that you will lose yourself in, a whole new galaxy for you to explore.
All right. How's everyone doing? Okay. I hope you're loving what you've seen so far. We've still got a bunch more ahead, including FIFA, Star Wars, and of course, Battlefield 1. But first, let's have a practical conversation about play. Many of these games we're talking about today are months away. Meanwhile, I'm sure you're all playing games that you've already invested a ton of time in. So our commitment is to support the community. It's a commitment to continue delivering new content to enjoy with your friends. In just the last year alone, we delivered more than 300 game updates to our most popular games. This year, that number will be even higher. And for EA Play this week, we have our biggest collection of content updates ever across both console, PC, and mobile. We've also got free trials to help you discover and try something new this week, like the Outer Rim expansion for Star Wars Battlefront, or check out some new games through EA Access for Xbox One and Origin Access for PC. Both have more than 20 great games available in the vault, and they are free for everyone to try all week long. Now here's one more way we hope you'll play this week. We have a new program called Play to Give. It's a big deal for us, and it's unlike anything we've ever done before. We're bringing together in-game challenges with charitable donations. First, the charities. At EA, we celebrate charitable causes that encourage a more diverse and inclusive world for all of us, as well as those that inspire and assist future game makers through STEM education. So we've partnered with 5 great organizations for EA Play: the UN He for She Initiative, National Center for Women and Information Technology, Special Effect, Code.org, and Code 2040. Now the challenges. There are 5 of them that are designed to celebrate our player community this week. Some examples. In Battlefield 4 and Battlefield Hardline, there's a new objective that's based on helping out your teammates in need. We're celebrating strong female characters in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes as you deploy a special squad to battle against the droids. And in FIFA Ultimate Team, if you can win with the Play to Give Cup, you'll receive an untradeable rare mega pack. It all comes together at the end of EA Play when we donate $1 million in celebration of the importance of play. Now let me send it back to Peter for some big news on FIFA 17. Peter, over to you.
Let me check. How's everyone doing? I think we're winning. Thanks, Andrew, and welcome back to London. Now, like me, I know many of you are excited that we're in the middle of a summer full of football. England looked good last night, till about the 92nd minute. But to be here in England at the heart of football, there's no better place to show you what's next. You'll see in a moment just how far FIFA has come from its debut in 1993. This is a revolutionary year for FIFA, for the most popular sports game on the planet. This is FIFA 17.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
But you will. My name is Alex Hunter, and just like you and every other kid that's grown up kicking about football, I've always dreamed of playing on the biggest stage for the best tactical minds in the game, alongside the greatest names. Playing in the park with my mates, I've already pictured it. Taking flawless 50-yard passes from Beckham, sending in Messi with the perfect through ball, burying it in the top corner like Rooney. Now, I have the chance to make that dream my reality. To pull on a Premier League shirt and maybe even one day step into the center circle of Wembley, 3 lions on my chest. This is the start of my journey. I know it won't be easy, but if I can perform on the pitch, make the right decisions off it, and take advantage of every opportunity that comes my way, this is the start of my journey. And you're all coming with me.
We've heard a lot about the talent of this young man, Alex Hunter. He had a wide choice of clubs to sign for. Today his journey begins as he makes his Premier League debut.
I haven't seen a kid coming out of the exit trials generate this much interest in years. I never expected anything like this.
Yes! A goal for Alex Hunter on his debut.
You're in the big league now. You have to raise your game. You need representation, you call me.
Wow! Check this place out! Just don't get too carried away. It can disappear just like that. Life doesn't always give you what you want, does it? I'm ready.
You'll get your opportunity, Hunter.
Just get me out of there.
Oh, we might as well pack this season in now.
What was he thinking?
I want to stay and fight for my place. I won't let you down.
Alex Hunter, an outstanding goal. Welcome to the Premier League. This young man has everything.
We're going to make history.
Incredible, Hunter!
My name is Alex Hunter. You don't know me, but believe me, you soon will.
So that's amazing. What you just saw is a brand new experience in FIFA 17 called The Journey. You'll live your Premier League story through the player we just met, Alex Hunter. That is the power of Frostbite, FIFA 17's brand new engine. You'll live in real football worlds, and you'll meet characters full of depth and emotion. And maybe nobody shows more emotion than the managers on the sidelines. And as such, for the first time ever, Premier League managers are in the game. So that means if we're launched today, we'd have 3 of the most legendary managers in FIFA 17. Check them out. Pep Guardiola, set to join the league. The legendary Arsene Wenger at Arsenal. And of course, my favorite of them all, at the best club in the world, Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. Now, these managers are the best. These
more studios like Coldwood, more games like Unravel. Passionate developers telling amazing stories, creating spectacular games. We are committed to working with small developers, finding these great new games, and giving all of you a chance to discover their magic. So today, we are very excited to announce EA Originals. Our EA Originals program is about 3 things. Firstly, it's about taking first-time experiences that are unique, gorgeous, innovative, and memorable, and bringing them to the world. Secondly, it's about supporting small developers and helping them make the most of their games. Now, we'll seek out a few projects each year for EA Originals and partner with them through the whole process from development to marketing to publishing. And lastly, it's about funding and offering a level of security. Now, making games is hard. It's a hard business. And these small developers have risked themselves to develop a new IP and created games great games deserve to be played. Now check this out. With EA Originals, we want all the profit from these games to go back into the hands of the developers, so they can keep innovating and creating into the future. Now, we've already begun with EA Originals, so please welcome to our stage Klaus Lyngeled from Zoink Games in Gothenburg. He is here to take you into the beautiful world of our first EA Originals game called Fe.
Hi, everyone. Wow, it's amazing to be here.
joining you all at EA Play here in Los Angeles. It's really huge for me, and I'm super excited to be here. I run a small game studio in Sweden, in Gothenburg, called Zoink, and we're about 20 people brought together by our fascination for new approaches to interactive storytelling and art. And recently, we've been on a journey with a very special new project. And thanks to Patrick and EA, we're here today to bring you along with us. Let me introduce you to the world of Fe. At its heart, Fe is a personal narrative about our relationship with nature. It's a game without words, a celebration of our longing to be one with the world around us. It's a story that reminds us that everything in this world is connected, living in a delicate balance that is constantly on the thread. You awaken as a young cub, all alone in a dark forest glade, and you have no idea who you are or how you got there. But as you spy from the treetops, you'll soon come to know the extraordinary creatures that live in this forest. And you'll find that they are all connected through their own language, a language of strange and beautiful music. See, every animal, every breathing creature, and even the plants, they all have their own unique song. And by learning them, you can connect to the forest, to understand it, to be part of it. Each song you learn will help you reach new parts of the forest and take you ever closer to discovering the secret of your own kind. But you are not the only newcomer to the forest. The silent ones corrupt the forest and spread their silence with each step. As you evade them using stealth and cunning, you will uncover their terrible purpose. This is a game full of discovery, conflict, and relationships. But as you explore the world of Fe, we're not going to hold your hand. The game won't tell you where to go, what to do, or how to think. We will set the stage and invite you into the forest for your own personal experience. An experience that will leave you scared, amazed, and delighted. In the forest, your discoveries will be your own. I'm very proud to now show you more about the beautiful world of Fe. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be here to talk about our Star Wars games. Right now, we have teams across the world creating a wide range of Star Wars games for all types of Star Wars fans. These teams are being led by some of the creative minds who have made some of our favorite games of the last decade. And now they're channeling their talent and passion to bring you all new experiences that will span many corners of the Star Wars universe for years to come. Let's break it down. Already today, you can play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, Star Wars The Old Republic, and of course, Star Wars Battlefront. Each of these games are live and getting fresh, new content all year long. Next year, you're going to get a new installment of Star Wars Battlefront. Led by DICE, in collaboration with Motive, we're building on the foundation of the first game. We're listening to our players and adding more of what you want, including content from the new films. Then coming in 2018 is a new action-adventure game from Visceral Games. Amy Hennig and team are creating an original narrative in the Star Wars universe with new characters. And beyond that, we've got more amazing projects in store, including one from our partners at Respawn Entertainment. They are exploring a different Star Wars era in their own third-person action-adventure game. We can't wait for you to play these games. I can't wait to play them myself. Here's a special peek behind the curtain at the EA Star Wars games we're working on with Lucasfilm. Thank you, and may the Force be with you.